Hey guys, it's Teacher Dad. So I feel like it's been a little while since I've done an official video here, and so I'm able to get back into it. Hopefully I'll be able to be a little more regular with some of my videos. Today I'm going to be showing you something else that I just got here in my science classroom, and I'm going to be using this to do a couple different things coming up in the future. But today I wanted to just show you some demonstrations with what I have gotten here as a new vacuum pump in my lab, and show you some of the cool things that you can do with it if you have one of your own, or some ways that you can have some fun with it. So stay tuned and we'll see you here in a little bit. So you may ask, why would the balloon inflate when you're putting it into a vacuum and you're actually sucking the air out of the chamber? Well, it has to do with the principles of pressure and atmospheric pressure. So all around you at all times there is atmospheric pressure, which is approximately 14.7 pounds per every square inch of surface. Now the reason that you don't feel that on a regular basis is for the fact that you have internal pressures that are also pushing outwards. So what is actually happening here is that inside of the balloon we've filled it up with the regular atmospheric pressure, and as you decrease the amount of air or molecules that are pushing on the outside of the balloon, it allows those molecules on the inside of the balloon to push outwards because there's no longer any pressure pushing against them. Glass of water has various properties, so we normally understand water to boil at 212 degrees Fahrenheit. But there's two ways to get water to boil. One of them is to increase the amount of energy of the molecules. So all molecules are constantly in a state of motion. And so if you increase the energy by adding heat, it causes those molecules to move faster, and then eventually they're able to break loose from those other molecules and escape out into the air as a gas, and we have that water vapor. The other way to cause water to boil is to lower the amount of pressure, similar to the balloon, of the air molecules that are pressing down on the water itself. So one of the things that you'll be able to see here is the ability to see water boil at a temperature that is actually far below 212 degrees Fahrenheit. So one of the things that's really fun to do inside of a vacuum chamber is to play with marshmallows. So marshmallows are usually what they will call jet puffed marshmallows. So it means they have a lot of air injected inside them. And when you bite down on a marshmallow, you have a lot of fluff because there's a lot of air inside there. And so watch what happens here as you take the air out of the chamber, and it causes the marshmallow to expand because you're pulling on all of those air particles that are inside of the marshmallow, causing it to expand to get larger and larger. But then the interesting thing happens when you get all the way to the end. It stops expanding any further, and then you turn off the vacuum pump and you begin to let the air back out. Now notice what happens here is as you begin letting all the air out, it begins to shrink down, and actually shrinks down smaller than the size that it was in the first place. Almost kind of looks like you're turning a marshmallow into a raisin. Now I did get a couple other things that I wanted to test just for the fun of it. I found some of these mallow cream, marshmallow filled chocolate cream centered. Kind of like a Reese's Pieces, but filled with marshmallow. So I wanted to see what happens here. And then I also got some of these circus peanuts. Wanted to see if they would do anything as well. So I'll show you a little demo of what happens to those. So probably one of my favorite things so far, as well as one of the kids' favorite things that I've shown in my classes, is what happens when you use an original type shaving cream that has the white foamy type cream. And then what you can see here is it's pretty interesting. Once it gets up to a certain point, then it starts breaking down with its with the bubbles inside. And then when what it really starts to see is when you start to put the air back into the chamber. Well, I hope you enjoyed some of those interesting things there with the vacuum pump. And if you have any other ideas of something that you would like to see done in a vacuum pump, I know there are lots of people who've posted YouTube videos about doing different things inside of a chamber, and I have some ideas of what I'm going to do. But stick around and you'll see more videos along this coming up, and hope to see you again on the next one, and thanks for watching.